How do you even start to teach a kid about money? It's one of the most critical life skills we can possibly give them. But for so many of us, it's just an afterthought. Well, today we're going to break down a really interesting new approach that's trying to change all that by embedding financial literacy right from the very beginning. Okay, so first, let's just zoom out and look at the big picture. This isn't just a problem in one or two countries. I mean, look at this map. Low financial literacy is a global challenge. Seriously. From the Americas all the way to Asia, you're seeing these massive populations where fewer than half the adults really get money. And that's a huge deal. It's a foundational problem that ends up affecting everything from personal debt all the way up to entire national economies. And to bring it into even sharper focus, let's look at India, which is where this new solution we're talking about is getting its start. Get this, 27%. That's it. That's the percentage of adults there who are considered financially literate. That one number, wow, it really tells you everything you need to know about the urgency and just the sheer scale of the educational gap we're dealing with here. So why is this happening? I mean, what's the root cause? Well, it really boils down to these four core issues. First, there's a huge lack of early financial education. We just don't teach this stuff soon enough. That, of course, leads to a really shaky foundation of even the basic concepts. Plus, the learning tools that are out there, they're often disconnected and don't really get the whole family involved. And maybe most importantly, kids just aren't getting any real, practical, hands-on experience. Okay, so acknowledging the problem is one thing, right? But what's the solution? Well, this is where Pickney Bank comes into the picture. It's an app that's been designed to tackle those exact core issues head-on by trying to make financial literacy for kids, actually engaging and fun. The whole philosophy behind this app is something they call the Playway method. And the idea is actually really simple, but it's also incredibly powerful. If you want a kid to actually learn and, remember complex skills, you have to make it feel like a game. It's all about creating a sustainable habit, not just giving them a boring one-time lesson. All right, so how do you actually turn something like managing money into a game? Let's dive into the nuts and bolts of how this app really works. So the whole engine of the app runs on this really simple three-step loop. First, kids do tasks that they've agreed on with their parents. Could be anything, right? Studies, chores, you name it. Second, for doing those tasks, they get stars credited to their account. And third, they get to spend those stars on things they actually want. It's a super straightforward cycle: effort and reward. But here's where it gets really clever. This simple loop, it becomes a training ground for the core pillars of finance. I mean, earning and spending are pretty obvious. But the app also teaches saving by letting kids set goals for bigger things they want. It introduces investing through little simulations to show them how money can grow, and it even covers debt management through safe in-app loan scenarios. It's basically a playground for really serious grown-up concepts. And what's brilliant is that this is not a one-size-fits-all approach. The app literally grows with your kids. So for a 5-year-old, it's all about building those basic habits, like you earn before you spend. Simple. But then for a 7-year-old, it starts introducing concepts like fixed deposits or maybe taking out a safe little loan for a bigger item. And then once they're 10 and up, it gets into the really practical stuff. We're talking strategic investments, taxes, even profit and loss scenarios. It's this perfectly layered journey. But here's the thing, right? If this was just about earning and spending virtual stars, well, it wouldn't be all that different from a bunch of other apps out there. This is where Pickney Bank goes a whole lot deeper. Because, and this is probably the most important point, personal finance, it's not really just about math. It's about your behavior. It's about your psychology. And this is where Pickney Bank really separates itself from being just another allowance app. Under the hood, its AI engine is powered by studies of cognitive behavior. What does that mean? It means it doesn't just track stars. It's doing deep behavior analytics. It's looking at a child's patterns of spending and saving. It can even recognize patterns of what's called anhedonia, a lack of motivation. And then it can actually adjust the challenges to keep that kid engaged. So by understanding these subtle behaviors, the app personalizes the whole experience to build a healthy, confident mindset around money. It's about shaping their financial psychology, not just teaching them arithmetic. And it's this unique behavior-first approach that's getting schools to sit up and take notice. They're seeing that when kids are learning with earned credits, when they have some skin in the game, the adoption rate is 5 times higher. So for schools, this isn't just another app. It's a real tool for building a culture of financial responsibility and giving students an essential life skill that fits right in with where education is headed. I mean, this quote from the company really says it all. It's about keeping the kids' cognitive behavior under check and building their personality with customized learning based on how that specific kid adapts. That's the key idea. That's what makes it so much more than just a simple allowance tracker. So, as you can probably tell by now, the goal here isn't just to make a cool app. It's about a much, much bigger vision. Let's zoom back out for a second and see what that really looks like. The whole vision is about connecting the small scale with the large scale. It starts right here in a single classroom, teaching one kid at a time. But the goal is for that impact to ripple outwards, to eventually contribute to these massive global goals. And look, this isn't just talk. The company's mission is formally aligned with 8 of the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. That's huge. We're talking about Goal 4, quality education, Goal 8, decent work and economic growth, and Goal 10, reduced inequalities. It's incredible. By teaching financial literacy, they are literally tackling these massive global issues from the ground up. So let's just end with this thought. What if learning about money was as natural, as fundamental as learning how to read? Just imagine a generation stepping into adulthood that can confidently navigate investments, that truly understands the risks of debt, and that has even run simulations advanced enough to teach them how to spot the red flags of something like a Ponzi scheme. That's the future Pickney Bank is trying to build, one money-smart kid at a time.